Okay, so here we go. I started redoing another window this morning, and I promised I was going to do a video on how to put the glazing in and assemble one of these things. And disassembling my old window, I was lucky enough or unlucky enough to break the corner off. So I've had to make a new piece of glass. And again, lucky for me, I've got a bunch of old windows kicking around from my house renovations that I cut a new piece of glass for this. It is the same thickness. So, starting with the glazing, and I'm going to set these pieces aside. I like to have my seam at the top. So, this glazing I ordered from Little Camper Painter, but they no longer sell this stuff. It's Can Camp, I think, does it now. And this stuff has like little breaks and such on it. So, I just kind of eyeball this for starters, so that I'm starting in the middle, roughly the middle. And I just kind of fit it around, feeding it over the glass. And what I try to do, because this stuff has little breaks in it, is I line my corner break up first. So I'm going to back this glazing up a little bit, get it on the corner. And if you've never used this stuff, how it works is it actually breaks in the rubber. I'm just going to cut this just a little bit to help it break. And then it kind of opens up and folds around the corner of the window. So maybe this will be a little bit better here. So I just come back and I fit it over the corner, reseal this, and I sort of just kind of keep unwinding and untangling this because it's all rolled up in a box beside my bench. And I line it up for the next corner, and this next corner I'm going to stretch it a little bit and get it so it breaks. Again, the last thing I want to do is make another piece of glass. And I apologize if you're hearing any noise. It's the rock tumbler my wife's got going here. She likes collecting rocks whenever we go anywhere. And that's our future hope, is to do a little boler camping. And hit some beaches up around the East Coast. And she can collect rocks, and that'll make her happy, and I'll camp in the boler, and that'll make me happy, and all's right in the world. Okay, so same thing. Cut my corner again, and I'm not worried about the glazing here coming off on the bottom. I'm just going to pull this, break it on the corner, and now we're all set. Okay. So what I want to do is just, again, kind of figure out where it was going to start in the middle, wrap around, and this is where the fun begins. So, as I mentioned before, I quite like WD-40 for this stuff. So I just kind of load this gasket up with it. And I'm going to start with my bottom piece first. And what's kind of tricky is you want to get it all centered up. So before I get too far here, I'll center that over the glass, and I need my stool. Alright, so just try and split the difference here, somewhere near the difference. And I just start on one end, maybe I'll start on this end here. I just kind of push that down over the glazing, and then just work that across. And again, the WD-40 helps with this, but I am nervous as heck because I'm so scared of breaking this glass and cutting myself. Because we also live in a nice area here where most of the hospitals aren't open. So if I do injure myself seriously, I'm looking at probably a 1-hour drive to the nearest ER. So this just takes a little bit of wiggling, a little bit of force. I'll slip that glazing off that other corner. Push it up inside the track. Sometimes that helps. But the majority of this is just plain old grunt and force. I've also got a piece of cardboard here and a rag. And the rag is to kind of keep my polish job from getting scrubbed up. I'm just going to take this block, push that glazing up into the aluminum. So I'm just squishing that glazing up into the aluminum. I'm going to flip it over and squish it on the other side. Actually, maybe the squishing is the better idea. Just have a look-see. And make sure our glass is pushed all the way down in. There. That feels solid. So what I notice is this side here, it needs to go this way. So I'm just going to do a little convincing, squish it down, and we'll try flipping this up. And this glazing over. Fit it to the corner. You might be able to see that hopefully in the video, how that fits. There. I'm just going to hold that down and walk some WD-40 to it. Now the trick is keeping your parts and pieces squared away. I don't want to assemble this and get things upside down and left to right. So my shiny sides are going out. This side's going here. I'm going to start up on that corner and just squish this down and on. Woohoo! Not totally. There we go. So we'll try this again. I just had the rubber a little bit pinched at the bottom and I wasn't happy with that. These side pieces go a lot easier than the bottom pieces. So what I do here is I look and make sure my hole's lined up, and I got to take a temporary screw because I haven't bought my new screws yet, and I just got to take and stick one in, kind of just temporarily hold this. So these are actually the little 632s that are out of the side brackets. If I can get my fingers on one. And again, these are just a temporary hold until I get my new screws next week. So I'm just sticking a screw in to hold that momentarily. And it helps kind of pull stuff square. And then I just kind of come back and check my gasket. Now I'm not happy with this little bump here. That is on the inside. I do want the outside looking nice, which it seems to. Alrighty. So on to the other side here. I'm going to fit this over the glass. Again, give it a little hole and set the corner. And I'm just going to try and get my next edge on before I cut this off. Again, WD-40 is my friend here. Grab my next little side piece and I just kind of start this nice and close, squish it onto the glazing. This is kind of where I'm really hoping I didn't make my window too long. I'll grab one more screw to help hold this together. Alrighty. What's nice is my window's getting all oily. That's a sarcastic, it's nice. And the aluminum's getting a good coating of WD-40 as well, which I'm hoping, because it's polished, to go into the surface and help it stay, keep from corroding. So I'm going to cut this one here. So there's my length. Careful with your fingers. Alright. Good lubing. And we'll start over here. I'm just going to work this down over. This glazing would stay put. It would be so much nicer. light taps. Alright. Now, let's see if these screws are long enough. If they line up. On this other side, and then I can just manually shove that gasket in. So here's my cheat again. I block, and I just kind of squish that glazing up into place. So out of everything, I think this little block trick works the best. There's some guy that had a little YouTube channel I found one time, and he was restoring a Volkswagen Westphalia windows. They had old jalousie style, and this is what he was doing to get the gasket in. So it does pay to spend a lot of your life on YouTube, I guess. So that's squished in. Livable on that side. My seal on this side could stand to go a little bit tighter. Right. So let's push this all down and together. Check this one more time here. There, so again, as I mentioned in my other video, I really quite prefer the WD-40. So this is all oily and kind of lubey right now, but there's nothing wrong with that. I'm gonna go around and make sure my gasket is all pushed in as much as possible. Glazing, I should say. This one here seems to be caught up under a little bit more, but I think I'll live with that. That's top. So I don't have to worry, I don't think, as much as the bottom. But I really want the bottom looking better.